Hello, mic testing one, two, three. Thank you for tuning in. In this video, the whole session is all about VMware. And before we move on to the technical part, I want you to take a moment and set your system and just focus completely on the training. And I don't want to rush all the 15-day in one single session because I've segregated this video day by day, one by one. So take a moment every single day, allocate 1 or 2 hours. So watch the video only for 30 minutes. So don't exceed beyond that. At one stretch, human mind cannot focus more than 20, 30 minutes unless and until you are a monk who can focus everything on a single day. But on a general term, just watch the video only for 20 to 30 minutes and then switch off the video, do some practicals, go ahead and learn on other sides. And probably you would have taken notes, go through the notes and revise it on every single day, right? And apart from that, keep a glass of water, keep yourself hydrated, put a lot of water to your brain so that it can absorb everything that you learn in this video. And I wish you all the best. I'm going to pull up the agenda now and I'll show you what we're going to talk in this video or the complete session. On day one, we'll be talking about the history, the basic architecture. On day two, we'll talk about how the VMware Virtualist technology works. On day three, we'll talk about a little overview of all the concepts. On day four, we'll talk about vSphere ESXi installation. And on day five, we'll talk about how to set up, what are the configurations involved in setting up an ESXi. On day six, we'll talk about vCenter server installation and how the PSC and all those components are involved. On day seven, we'll talk about host management and how do you create a data center? How do you configure the cluster? And how do you set up tasks and alarms? And on day 8 and 9, we'll be talking about basic VM operations. On day 10 and 12, 10 to 12, we'll be talking about more complex setting, I would say, the V networking or the vSphere networking. And I've spent 3 days on it, so spent a lot of time watching vSphere networking and learning more about it. And on day 14 and 15, we'll be talking about vSphere storage. And vSphere storage involves a lot of other components with your whole environment, but we'll talk about that in detail. And what's the benefit of this session is you will be noticing that we'll have a lot of issues while setting up the environment, and that gives us an opportunity to learn by doing. So we'll be troubleshooting VMs, we'll be troubleshooting vCenter and networking and storage. So you will learn a lot of information day by day. And that's it. Let's jump right in and let me know your feedbacks in the comment and all the best. All right, so what is special in this tutorial is something really unique. Generally, you watch a video in YouTube, you watch it in Coursera or any learning medium, they teach you. But in this video, the whole session, the tutorial is completely packed in a way that you watch and learn, not just learn. So I'm going to teach someone, one of my student called Shubham, and while I was teaching it, I have recorded the whole session for 15 days. And you're going to see day by day, and you will see Shubham is asking a lot of interesting questions. I've taught a lot of people, and Shubham is one of a unique student. And the way he asked the questions and the way he made me explain a lot of concepts, I liked the concepts myself and how I explained it to Shubham. So the whole session, the complete tutorial is based on how I taught one of my student, Shubham. So you can watch by learning, and if you have any queries, you can let me know and I'll be happy to help you. All the best.
Okay, fine, fine.
Yeah, I just hit the
Now
record.
I can see it is. Okay, okay, now I can see.
Okay, I'm also
Now I
recording
can see.
for safety.
Cool, cool.
Okay, all right. So, what is your understanding on VMware? What do you know about VMware as of now?
VMware, not much knowledge that it's the basic idea of virtualization. What you mean by virtualization, that
Okay.
I have. It's like uh, when instead of operating system, you have a software patch called hypervisor.
Yeah.
It could be of any company, Microsoft, Zen Server,
Mhm.
or VMware. VMware being one of the most popular.
Yeah.
And um, You put that hypervisor on the bare metal hardware.
Yeah.
On top of it, you get the instance of OS.
Yes.
And this is type 1 VMware, and type 2 is the one virtual workstation,
Yeah.
VMware workstation, and all those applications which you put on the top of the OS.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
here we'll deal mainly with the type 1 VMware.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the only knowledge I have, and the advantages of having those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I do not have much knowledge actually.
No, this is more than enough. I think you already have enough knowledge on basics VMware. So this is actually exciting because most people don't know what is VMware. Totally, they're blank when we start.
Okay.
Glad that you know.
Based on what I said, how do you prefer? Like, can I ask you questions when I respond or when you interact, or you want me to note everything down and at the end of the session you want me to ask questions?
No, no, no. Right away, when you don't understand anything, just ask right away.
Right away. Okay. One question
Hmm.
I was reading, because look, my understanding is all from reading internet and this. Whenever
Hmm.
the exam came, I started reading Azure and all. I whatever I
Hmm.
read, that's all.
Okay.
What in the internet they say that this hypervisor is basically a software
Yeah.
which is like a kernel of an operating system.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this understanding correct of mine? Because there are a lot of things, there are things which have been said in different places,
It's
but this
like
is what I understand.
okay. Now let's take Microsoft 2012. Okay.
Okay.
Like a ISO file, right? You download the ISO file and then you put it on a desktop or put it on a server, physical server, right?
Okay.
So when you install a Microsoft OS, what happens? You're just utilizing the hard, and then you're using this software, right? The
Hmm.
same thing happens. Even the Microsoft the kernel, any OS will kernel is like the heart or the uh, like this the core of the product. So any product, any OS you take, there should be kernel.
Correct. There should be a kernel. Yes.
So that's the thing. So kernel is there on ESXi, kernel is there on OS or any operating system. Kernel core of it. So like the normal system from the normal output will go into kernel. Only the kernel will process everything. So that's what.
No.
Hmm.
No. One thing is not clear to me. So when I'm talking about a hypervisor,
Yeah.
it is not an operating system. It is a software.
Then it's operating system. It's actually an operating system.
It's a operating system.
Yeah.
Acha.
Yeah.
Which has a separate kernel.
No, it has only one kernel.
Yeah. So the hypervisor is a operating system which has a kernel in it.
Yes, exactly. Hypervisor is like a
Okay.
term. It's used for everyone. But in terms,
Now, how it differs from my Windows 10 then? Because Windows 10 also has a OS which has a single kernel,
yeah,
and on top of it, you can install multiple instances of OS with the virtual
mm,
workstation, virtual
mm,
stuff, right? And
exactly.
on the VMware, you can do the same thing. Or is it something, the difference only it makes that when you install VMware ESXi, you
Mm.
do not have to install a separate virtualization application to get multiple instances of OS.
Okay, this
But in,
question I will park it. I will not talk about this because in too much into detail, and I don't want to go directly over there. I will park this
okay,
question now. We will discuss about this. I mean, after 2 or 3 days, you will get of what is what.
okay, fine, no worries. But
Right?
as of now, let me understand that uh, VMware ESXi is also a operating system. It is
Yes.
a kind of hypervisor, and it is a type of hypervisor, and it is an operating system.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, no worries.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start with a quick history. It's just a 5 minute history of what is the and so the product came to market as a workstation product.
Hmm.
It's called as GSX back in
Okay.
1992 and all this time.
Okay.
1998 is when they completely came into the market with a public announcement that this is the product. So after that, what happened? They started from workstation to servers, and that is called as
Okay.
ESX. That is what they call as ESX, and both do not have a proper expansion. There is no abbreviation for it. This is even from
Okay.
they don't have an answer for this. They just call it extensive server integration. That's what they say, and there is no documentation for that. So it's just
Okay.
ESX. There is no proper expansion. Even
I think the voice is no. At
Hmm.
times it is dropping, so it is
Okay.
just going mute and on like that.
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe
Yes. Yes.
Wi-Fi, that's why. Let me see. Okay, I think fine now. I'm connected to LAN. Okay
Let
now?
me just
Yeah.
just continue for a few seconds and I'll come to know.
Okay, okay. So ESI6, what we call it now, and this after they moved from workstation to server, they started calling GSSX ESX. So that's how they came into the market. And first ESX that came in market was 2008 when they officially announced ESXi.
Okay.
All the hosts are called I for integration. So
Okay.
they came with ESXi. And to talk about the company's background on like the management part, it was started by a lady called Dani Green, and Dani Green was the one who founded the company. And later on, she went to Google. After she went to Google from Microsoft, you know Paul Allen.
I heard the name most
Yeah,
likely. I'm not very
Paul
sure.
Allen. Yeah, Paul Allen was the one who designed Microsoft long back. For Bill Gates and all. Bill Gates was just like
Correct. Paul Allen. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So this
Ha.
guy came to VMware. So he
Okay.
was CEO for some time. He only made ESX into ESXi. And 2008 when he left VMware. So and then later on, current CEO Pat Gelsinger was the one who ran the company. So that's the company management part. So to talk about the product itself, it did so well when it was ESX. So 2008, nobody cared about ESX. At the time, there is no virtualization. Virtualization was like in booming, like they were just like budding at that time. Even start. Later on, after Paul Allen came to the industry only, they changed the product to ESX to ESXi, and started picking up very crazily. And you know, the rest is history. That's how the product
So
wise.
you mean to say in 2008, actually this virtualization came into picture?
No, virtualization was there like from long time. Actually, virtualization was implemented by IBM. IBM was the one who invented the x86 architecture. It was actually from IBM. Was the one who invented the virtualization concept, but marketed it very well and they used the product very nicely. That's why. Yeah, it's the product 2008. I mean to say 2008 is when they invented and came up with the product ESXi host.
Okay. So when it was ESX, still that time virtualization was there.
Yes. Virtualization was there. The company itself was found. Yeah.
Based on the virtualization concept. So this GSX thing, it was not there, right? Or it was there as well?
It was there initially when they started the company in 1998. It was GSX.
Okay. So from the very beginning when they started the company, virtualization concept was always there.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So this is like the overall history. So in the whole VMware concept, decision concept was introduced by IBM. Was the one who spent a lot of money inventing the architecture x86, and then VMware used that technology and then they become well in the market. That's the like the this is just good to you if you're in a debate with someone or when you have someone to management and all will like to hear the story. Yeah. Okay. So this is the overall picture of VM, overall company-wise growth and all. So now, it's actually 20 years they are in the market and they are well settled. And they started with workstation, and then they started doing for servers. They started doing it storage. They virtualized the desktops first. They virtualized servers. Server virtualization is what we call as host. Storage SAN. It's called as vSAN, virtualized SAN. And now they are virtualization went to network, and that is called NSX. These are some of the main products. And they have SRM. This is for DR, disaster recovery.
Okay.
So these are some of the core products. And normally, so we on this course, we will be focusing mainly on this part, because this is where the whole environment will be running. On top of this only, you will have vSAN, NSX or DR, desktop come into picture. So we will be mainly focusing on server virtualization. Okay.
Just a question, just a one-liner answer if you may give.
Yeah.
What is this network virtualization? Look, I have a physical switch.
Yeah.
I have a physical switch. SAN,
Yes.
I understand. I have a physical switch, and instead of using that physical switch, I create an environment and I create multiple switch. But physically, if I don't connect the port, virtually can I connect the port? Is that something concept they are using?
No. This works with the physical environment. It won't work without a physical switch. I mean, we need cables, ports, and all. For sure. Physically, you will have a switch, and on top of that, you'll put a small component that is NSX. So this is your switch.
But again, suppose I have a director switch which have 500 ports. So with the NSX, I can multiply it to 1000 or something like that. Some kind of concept like that. Just one liner. Means I'm not looking into this.
So this is actually a management. This is a management layer. NSX is actually a management layer. It's not like you're completely virtualization. You're managing it of virtualization. Yeah.
Okay. And SRM disaster recovery. Okay, so it is like you have a DC and you make a complete copy of the DC, DR site or something like that.
Yeah. So site 1, this is your site 2. You will just replicate all your data here, and then you will have. So in case
but again, that is also physical, right? What in storage or server, always what we did is a physical thing. I have a DC site, and customer said I have data recovery site, DR site. My DC site is in one place and my DR site is in another place. That is all physical. So virtualization also is also an area like in those kind of scenarios.
Okay. I have a scenario. Let's say site 1 is here and site 2 is here. Okay.
Okay.
And all the data. Let's say you have like 2 your environment. Replicated here.
Correct.
Now VMs are running here. My production is running here.
Okay.
Production is down. Some power outage happened, or some flood or something has collapsed my site.
Correct.
How will I know which VM was powered off, which VM was in my production, which is my database, which is my exchange? How will I know all this? So there is something.
There must be a tool which is running and which will identify this thing.
Yeah, that tool is called SRM. Site Recovery Manager.
Oh. Oh, it's complex.
Yeah, it's complex. I'm not
Got
going
it.
in that way. So we'll
No, I'm just trying to understand.
this is all out
That
of
is
your
this is
scope.
pretty.
This is all out
Huh,
of your
huh,
scope. Do not worry
huh,
about it. If you don't get it, no problem.
huh.
It's totally out of your scope. This one,
Cool.
this is all.
No, that's okay. I'm just interested when you talk about something, no, just to have an idea
Yeah.
that it does that keyword I noted that okay, when there is a disaster,
Hmm.
how would the deer site would know? I'm
Hmm.
very used to that DC and deer site, so I'm using that term. So how the deer site would know that something has happened? Where is the database? And so this
Hmm.
SRM manage, okay, this has to go here, this has to go there, and it will
Yeah.
move the VM and do all those things.
Yeah.
I think the most complex of everything is this SRM application.
Hmm.
Whatever I understand from here.
Yes. So currently I'm handling this only.
Oh, super. Good, good,
So
good, good.
it's for VMware, we went for 2 months training for this.
Because this is pretty complex, right? Means uh,
Yeah. So yeah, this is a
the
complex
customer
project.
will not leave you. I know. Means
In
one who is
outside,
using.
if
Uh,
you go for course, this is like 60,000 course.
oh my God.
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
But definitely it has a value as well in the market, I believe, because
Yeah.
and without quite a good understanding of
Uh,
all these three things, you cannot manage SRM.
yes. Yes.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're diverting on the topic. So think
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
only focus on core. When I say core, it is a server version.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're not going to talk about storage. We're not talking about network or SRM. If you really want SRM, apart from that, like if
Hmm.
you have time, we'll talk about SRM in the detail. Okay.
Fine. Fine.
So for now, we are only focusing on server virtualization.
Hmm.
Have you been to a data center?
Yes, I had been to data center.
Okay. What do you think are the components of the data center?
Think of the components means server would be there, storage would be there,
Hmm.
switch would be there in the
Okay.
racks if it like that.
Have you seen building a data center like scratch?
Not exactly building a data center, but after it has been built,
Hmm.
while still the installation is going on,
Okay.
uh, I have seen it more or less closely. Reason being, I was into a role for one of the data centers of India. Into the in the sense not building, but I
Hmm.
was a technical account manager. In the sense, no, if they have any kind of issue
Hmm.
technically, the
Hmm.
first point of they will contact the respective. Suppose it's a server issue, they'll contact the server engineer.
Okay.
In case that fellow is not able to respond or not responding properly, like as expected,
Okay.
then they will come to us, and I will help to clear the roadblocks.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So I had been to that data center.
Mhm.
Uh, so
Super. Yeah, that's a rare phenomenon. People generally don't get such opportunities. But
but I am unfortunately because this call is getting recorded.
Mhm.
I cannot tell you the name on the call.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I tell you will 100% you have sure means
Mhm.
one or the other time you have came across that company.
Yeah. Okay, hold on the line. I'm switching room.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry about that. Shubham, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't book a room, so people came into the room suddenly. Okay, so I'm going to show you a small demo of how a data center is usually built. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So let's take this is like a data center area that I've chosen. The first
Okay.
foremost thing any data center will have is like the power grid. power grid.
Correct. Power grid. Yes.
They will lay out a layer for power grid on both the sides.
Yes.
So this is the basic thing that we need. And along with the power grid, there will be generators installed, generators.
Correct.
And next to that, you will have thermostats for temperature monitoring.
For temperature monitoring.
Okay. Now this anything in data center will be redundant. Like there will be no single thing. If
Correct.
generator is A,
Even the PD would be redundant.
generator B will be here. And then if there is a power grid here, power grid B is here. So thermostat B will be here. So everything in data center will be like redundant. Then once you got the power redundancy, then you will put AC.
Correct.
It will be the cooler, AC or cooler.
Yes.
For the hosts or physical machines to be on the temperature. And then once this is done, you will have racks. This will be again redundant. These are racks. Once we have racks, you will have base inside it. This is called base. There's something called BAY, bay. You will have base, each and every base. So inside every
42U and all rack, 42U rack, that servers will slice.
More than me. Yeah. So physical layer, you can imagine your HP devices. So in bay only will have the servers types, right? You have blade servers.
Correct.
You have mount servers.
Correct. MLDL.
Yeah, and then you have towers, something called tower servers.
That is ML servers.
Okay, yeah. So blade will come with enclosure. So most of the time, this will have enclosures inside it. And in this case, I don't know if people are still using mount servers. So there will be mount servers, complete rack. So this is how the typical environment will look like. Inside, one of the rack will have SAN.
Correct.
One of the rack will be like a big box, like how we have fridge in our home. Be that size, sandbox will be there in one of the rack. And with that, next to this side or this side, you can see a switch. You can see.
What is this SAN you are talking about? Is it the storage you are talking about?
Yeah. Storage area network. Yeah.
Okay.
So
the physical storage you are talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a physical storage. So we'll use the term SAN for physical storage.
Okay.
Detail about SAN concepts, we'll talk about the SAN technology and terminologies. For now, this is just an overview of the data center.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So there will be two switches in general. One is called a fabric switch for storage. And another one is called as a network switch. It's also called as Ethernet switch.
Correct.
So this will be a layer 2 switch only for network communication. This will be for storage communication.
Correct.
This is how a SAN will look like. And be one guy sitting here. This is the data center manager. Yeah. So this is how a normal data center will look like. And the network will again go connect to the WAN. From the switch, you will connect to the WAN. And then it will come to your main office or office.
Correct.
So this is how your
But it can be a fabric switch as well as a Ethernet switch, right?
Yeah.
If it is data communication, it has to be generally they prefer the FC port communication.
Yeah.
Ethernet switch generally they will use for the intercommunication.
Yes.
Yeah, switch to switch communication. If we have 10-15 switches and it comes under a single fabric, then only they use the Ethernet communication. Generally, I'm talking. Because 3PL and all as a storage, generally they use the little bit of knowledge I have, day-to-day thing.
Yeah.
They use the fabric communication.
Correct. You're right.
Fine.
Okay. So this is how normal typical data center will look like. Okay. So the data center, do you have any doubts in this data center view?
No,
right? Okay. It's just like basics. I'm just going through basics. I didn't get into VMware yet.
Yeah, okay.
So, so VMware in general, right? So you already are aware of type 1, type 2 hypervisor. So I'm not going in detail, but I'll just give you a overview again. So type 1 service, type 1 will be generally used. So you just said, what is your understanding of?
Type 1 is which is on the bare metal hardware. Type 2 is which is on top of the OS.
Exactly, yeah. So that's it. You got the difference already. You know that. So do you have any example?
Yeah, because you remember told you that there is a exam on 27th. After that only I'll start it on 28th.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember that there was an exam on 27th, so I'll start on 28th evening. So
Yeah.
27th was my Azure fundamental exam.
Okay.
So that helped me to learn VMware, container, serverless computing, basic idea. I'm not talking means if you tell me what is container, I can now tell you what is container. If you
Yeah.
tell me what is VMware, virtual machine, I can now tell you what is virtual machine. Like that, very basic.
Okay.
The security key and the token keys, all those things are little complex. I couldn't manage.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
good actually. I couldn't tell you. It is
Mhm.
good that we planned initially to have a class no over this one
Mm.
because after I met you within next 2-3 days on 21st
Yeah.
the yoga day,
Yeah.
my wife met with an accident.
Oh, you told me.
So
Yeah.
did I told you?
Yeah, you told me the other day on phone. Yeah.
Oh, over phone I told you. Okay.
Yeah.
So today is the first day I joined back office.
Oh, okay.
So she has been given a kind of, you can say almost complete bed rest except her washroom, toiletries and all
Okay.
for 6 weeks. So after 3 weeks, we have the next visit. Already 2 weeks has gone. So another 2 weeks left for doctor visit.
Okay. Take care, bro. Yeah, it's not easy.
It's very tough means managing everything, cooking, office work, household work, and that point of time exam, I literally went crazy.
Yeah. Take care. No, yeah, it's easily. Family, you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yes,
So yeah, so we're talking about bare metal and hosted. So
correct. Hosted stores,
it's
hosted. Yes.
hosted. So bare metal, do you have any examples? Can you give me any examples?
Bare metal is like our VMware ESXi, Zen server. These are all bare metal where you can directly install the operating system
Yeah.
on the server and then you build
Yes.
the thing. And hosted one is the most popular VMware workstation.
Yeah.
And there is one something called Virtual Dropbox. I think that is a Microsoft product. I'm not very
Mm.
sure.
Virtual.
Virtual
I've
Dropbox.
never heard
But,
about it. Citrix is one of the product.
hmm,
Yeah, Citrix is here also there. Citrix Zen server is there.
hmm.
So here also Citrix is there. Most popular one is VMware Workstation.
Yeah. That's what we most of the people
Yeah,
know, right? Yes.
Workstation we all know. Yeah, so that's the product wise. And
Huh.
yeah, this actually requires any other operating system. This
Okay, it's
doesn't.
a Oracle thing. I just quickly checked.
It's
Virtual Dropbox is the Oracle stuff.
a virtual Dropbox. Okay.
The Oracle stuff.
Oh yeah. OVM. Yeah.
Could be. I am not recalling because yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Fine.
that's
Cool.
about the basics of the VMware terminologies and types. And I've talked about data center basics. So to mark it here, I'm not going to get in detail about the product wise. Tomorrow onwards, we'll start with each and every components of VMware.
No worries. No
Syllabus.
worries.
Did I send you the syllabus?
No.
Okay, 1 second. I'll send you the syllabus. Okay. So this is how our pattern will look like. We'll start with and all this. Today we just talked about it. And so you can go through it. You will get what is the course will look like. Okay. And I usually do real-time interview because when I was in Chennai, I used to help people to get job.
Mm-hmm.
So they also had,
That's cool.
yeah. So you can ignore that part alone.
Mm-hmm.
Rest you should be able to get it. Why am I not getting your email address? Did you say yes?
SAHA.
SAHA. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
You can go through it. So today we didn't talk anything technically, so I'm not reviewing anything. So tomorrow
Fine.
we'll start. We'll do a class, and then end of in 10 minutes we'll review and elaborate the doubts.
Fine. Fine. No
So is
worries.
this teaching method okay for you, or you have any other suggestion?
I find this to be cool. So far, look, it's a very basic thing what we did. We had a
Yeah,
just at the interaction, understanding each other's pulse, and
yeah,
no, how the flow will go.
yeah,
Probably, what I personally always feel, two classes
yeah,
helps you to understand how is the gelling,
yeah,
what are the. So once I sit back now and try to review what you told,
yeah,
then probably things will come in your mind, and the same will be applicable for you as well.
yeah, yeah,
That you will say, okay, Shubham, let us approach it this way, let us approach
yeah,
it that way.
yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Generally, I have a habit of clarifying the things whenever something comes up.
Okay. Sure, got it, Shubham. No problem. And
Hmm.
okay, we'll have to fix this timing, or do you have different timing in mind?
If you look, I do not have a issue till 8,
Hmm.
till 7th. 1 minute. Huh? 4, 5, 6. I do not have a issue till 7th.
Okay.
All the circus starts after 8
Hmm.
because I am getting directly into night shift.
Hmm.
Okay, I tried all the possible ways. It didn't work out.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so after 8 probably,
Hmm.
uh, I would prefer maybe a little late evening,
Okay. Yeah.
something like that, if that's possible.
So Shubham, see, for me, I don't have a thing. So today morning you said we'll have it 5. So I said, okay. So every day we'll just discuss
Hmm.
before we get on a call so that we can discuss a suitable time for both of us. Okay. So
Fine. Or we can do one thing. We can do one thing. We
yeah,
can, as of now, make it around 6:30 in the evening.
yeah,
Okay, then because no, it is you may have some plan every day. If I come with a 10 minutes, 15 minutes before pre or post, then it becomes tough for you as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so because no, you maybe your client has said, "Can I have a call this time?" and you are not sure what time would I tell today. So this is not good. I do not find this is good from my end.
yeah.
So let us fix a time because I do a bit of practice every day,
Okay,
yoga and all those things. I told you right, I have interest and all.
okay, okay.
So, so I'll finish my practice. That is my booster actually. So I'll finish that off,
Okay.
and by 6:30 I'll get ready.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Evening, right?
6:30 to evening 6:30 to 7:30. I
Okay.
have one question for you.
Yeah.
I got an option
Hmm.
for the month of August to do afternoon shift. Not an option. Someone has actually requested me. He said, "I'll check and let you know."
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel no a complete morning session will help you to focus more?
Yeah, morning session, I'm always open. I told you my shift starts at 1:30. So morning,
Hmm.
morning,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Fine. Let me talk to that fellow. He hasn't confirmed me. He only approached me saying that, can
Okay.
you just do it for me for 1 month?
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me also check. He said also, I am also checking with other people because I am known for not doing any type of afternoon shift.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually done in last 11 years.